Could Haas F1 team get the deal of the decade by signing Daniel Ricciardo for $0 to drive for them in 2023? Welcome to Fiends, where the F1 never ends, and today we're going to discuss the possibility of Haas F1 team signing Daniel Ricciardo for free. So as we all know, McLaren was not happy with Daniel Ricciardo's performance over the last couple of years and decided to buy him out for 2023. Of course, Daniel Ricciardo got a sweetheart deal when he signed on with McLaren, who poached him from Renault, which meant that he was the only one holding the option to buy out his contract. As a result, Daniel Ricciardo asked for $21 million reportedly to leave the seat in 2023, and McLaren countered with $10 million. August 24th reports across the internet imply that they settled on $15 million. I could not find any details on the signed agreement, but I did find details on the proposed agreement that did state that any salary that Daniel Ricciardo earned in Formula One in 2023, up to the amount of the buyout, would be refunded to McLaren. For this reason, I can see why a team might offer him $0 to race for them. And there are good reasons for this. For starters, he already has his salary for 2023 paid. Why would they offer him $2, $3, $5, $10, $15 million even to drive for them if that money's just going to go directly to their rival McLaren? Similarly, if Daniel Ricciardo wants to race and be competitive, leaving that chunk of McLaren's budget out of their budget would be beneficial to him, in addition to saving the team money. I can see why he would look for a $20 million contract, but I just don't think he's worth it right now. He hasn't proved that he can adapt to a new car, and it's unclear which cars would suit his driving style. Of course, he might know better on that subject, but that doesn't really matter because I don't think any teams are willing to shell out that much money for a driver at the moment, especially one who hasn't really been performing for the last couple years. The open seats right now in Formula One are Alpine, Alfa Romeo, Haas, and Williams. Ricciardo has stated quite openly that he doesn't want to be racing at the back of the pack, which pretty much crosses Williams off of that list and might take Alfa Romeo off the list. It does, however, leave Haas and Alpine as suitable drives. The Alpine seat, though, does appear to be going to Pierre Gasly, who was overheard saying that they were just working out the details of the contract. So that really only leaves Haas if Daniel Ricciardo wants to race next year and wants to be in the midfield or better. Haas is well known for not making it to the budget cap, and currently they're looking to sever ties with Mick Schumacher, who has been crashing more than usual and definitely more than his experienced teammate is crashing. So they need to save money. So this could potentially be a match made in heaven. Daniel Ricciardo is definitely a better driver than Mick Schumacher, even with his recent failures in the McLaren, which is reportedly tricky to drive and does not suit his driving style. Maybe the Haas is more suited to his driving style, or maybe it's not. But even so, signing a top-tier driver like Ricciardo for less money than any rookie would potentially be the deal of the decade. If Haas offers Daniel Ricciardo $0, that means he makes $15 million next season, McLaren paid his salary, and they can take that $15 million and put it towards their car. Further to that, they'll also be taking that money out of McLaren's budget. If Daniel Ricciardo has a good time at Haas and does well, they could sign a deal where they actually pay him in future years. Or he could use his performance to springboard himself back onto a more competitive team. It's also possible that Haas's development of their car will make them so competitive that Daniel Ricciardo will want to stay with them. It's really the big brain pro gamer 700 IQ move that I can expect out of someone like Günther Steiner. Signing Daniel Ricciardo for $0 would be a huge middle finger to McLaren from both Ricciardo and Haas, who would also love to put that kind of drama in front of Netflix. It's not unprecedented either. Ayrton Senna offered to drive for Williams for free in 1993 just to get into their car. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out due to Alain Prost having already secured a contract with them for 1993, but it is not unprecedented for drivers to offer to drive for free. Honestly, of the options that Daniel Ricciardo has in front of him, I think this is the best move. He could race in another series, but he's already turned that down as McLaren reportedly tried to get him into IndyCar and he said he was focused on Formula One. He said he doesn't want to drive at the back of the grid, which means that he doesn't want to race at Williams and probably not Alfa Romeo, who are probably going to keep their driver lineup for next year given how consistent they've been. And I can't see him wanting to take a sabbatical, although that might be a good idea. If he raced in another series, he would really have to prove himself if he wanted to get back into Formula One, and taking a year off could be dangerous because he could just not have his foot in the door anywhere and end up being left by the wayside like Nico Hulkenberg as teams gamble on promising young rookies. Waiting for another seat to open up while you don't have a good performance under your belt is devastating for a driver because you're only as good as your last performance on the driver's market. Having the opportunity to shine in a Haas car next season could be the best way for Daniel Ricciardo to get himself back into a better team. With the extra money in their budget, Haas could potentially make their car into a rocket ship, which Daniel Ricciardo could then extract the best performance out of. I could see this going down in history as a legendary move from a driver that people consider a legend. So what do you think? Should he go for it? Should Steiner make the offer? Is it a good deal? Or is there some sort of a clause in the contract that I'm not aware of that would prevent this from happening? Let me know in the comments. Also, more than 90% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. I want to bring you more videos like this, and your support means the world to me. So thanks again for watching Fiends, where the F1 never ends.